Okay.
Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I am here with Melissa Campbell. Melissa is the president of the United Educators of Pittsfield. Melissa, for those who are not familiar with what that is, if you could just explain what that is and what your role is as president.
Yeah, sure. The United Educators of Pittsfield includes all classroom teachers, specialists, nurses, school guidance counselors, our speech and language, OT, PT, our all our support staff. So I'm president. There's about 500, somewhere between 510 and 550 members. It has changed a little bit over the last year.
Okay. And one of the reasons I did want to talk to you and invite you on is I know that right now we have a school committee election and city council elections coming up, but I also know for you, you're in the process of talks, from what I understand, of still negotiating a contract. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Sure. So our hope at the end of last year was to do a one-year contract, knowing we had to bridge a year after COVID. And we were seeking a 1 year so that we could have the time to really sit down and negotiate a 3-year after that. So talks stalled, obviously, in June, and they pretty much stalled around raises and compensation, and how much money was being spent on virtual academy versus the teachers that are in brick and mortar. So needless to say, we couldn't come to an agreement. And at that time, we were only asking that we get the same percentage everybody else in the county was getting, so that we could stay even. We're currently ranked, I think, 6th, if not 7th in the county as far as districts. We've been promised for the past few years that, we know we're going to need to start increasing what we give you to at least get us to the middle of the pack. We realize we're not going to be Williamstown or now Berkshire Hills, excuse me. They're leading the county with teacher salary right now. We know that we're not going to be at the top. We're asking to move up closer to the middle. So knowing that, we were asking for what everybody else got, understanding it was a year of COVID, and we couldn't agree upon that either. So no contract, and then we ended up having to negotiate things around the virtual academy in August. So we have now decided to seek a 3-year contract, which I guess will be retroactive, hopefully, till September. We have set some meeting dates, so they're starting next week. Some negotiation sessions through December. I'm hopeful we can come to an agreement by then, and then hopefully have it ratified in January. So that is the goal. I'm hoping that this happens. I'm a little, I'm concerned that the school committee has not had a sense of urgency that they should have this done. I feel that we had more teachers resign over the summer due to not having a contract. They also don't have a contract for AFT, which is our paraprofessionals, our bus drivers, our custodians, our cafeteria workers, and secretaries. So I'm just concerned that there was no urgency to say, hey, we have 2 of our major educator unions, and we have no contract for either of them. And
what would you say, for the people at home that aren't familiar with a lot of this, what kind of effect are you seeing as a result of this?
Sure. So as a result, I've had since August 17 teachers resign and go to other districts. That was on top of the 32 to 35 that were before that. And many of them are going to different districts for more money. Some are going for a little more freedom and autonomy, and being able to teach how they had imagined teaching would be. There's a little more requirements in Pittsfield. Let's just leave it at that for right now. So a lot of them are leaving for a little more teaching freedom, being treated like professionals. I've heard from a couple of them are like, I can run my classroom how I want to run my classroom, rather than being told exactly what to say and do. So that's a concern, and something we'll be talking about. We've had 100 new teachers hired, which is 20%. Wow. 20%, which is concerning. And of those, about half are on a 1-year only contract. So that means is that's going to be a new position again next year. So that's concerning. And I do think that not having a new contract in place made people hesitant to come to Pittsfield.
And what kind of stress, if any, or is that putting on the existing staff?
Right. So with a bunch of new teachers, and some of them are long-term subs, there's a few of those. Some of them are 1-year only on a waiver. So they just need extra support because they've not been in the district. So there's just a lot of technological things to explain, in addition to, like, learning how to manage your classroom, learning the curriculum, learning how to deliver it. So they need extra support. So it's putting a little more pressure on the veteran teachers in the buildings to help support them. We do have some positions that are open. That's causing some extra students in classes, or it's causing, I think in the high school, some teachers are teaching 6 classes rather than 5, which that's a long day. So
Yeah. So it
right,
sounds
so you're
like
preparing for another class.
teachers are mentoring teachers and also trying to teach the
Right.
students. That sounds like a lot. So
Picking up extra classes and workloads because they can't fill positions.
wow.
So which means less adults in buildings, et cetera. It's a trickle down.
So are you in hopes of, if a contract, or if and when a contract is finalized, do you think that should maybe start to stabilize some of this? Or
I would hope so, because we're seeking a 3-year contract. So that would give some leverage to, incoming teachers. Like, that we have this in place, and if we can get our salary scale in line and competitive with the county, that would help. So that is our hope.
yeah, I know. I have I think Walter from the other union. I've been in
Yes.
talks with him, and they're coming on. One of the things that they said to me that shocked me is that there's still many of them below state minimum wage. So
Right. They're fighting for a living wage. And the paraprofessional, they all work, incredibly hard for the students of Pittsfield. And the fact that they don't even make minimum wage is really appalling. And they should be making a living wage, not even just minimum wage. And I can't speak enough about the paraprofessionals and the need for them in our classrooms. We have, as you had mentioned earlier before we got on air, that our special needs population is pretty high. And it's imperative that we have the correct support staff within the classroom to help out. I mean, a teacher can only do so much depending on the number of special needs students in the classroom.
right, and I was shocked to see also the choice out percentage of students on top of it, and then the monetary part of that attached to that. So
Right. So yeah, people say, oh, students choice out, but Pittsfield has to pay the district they're going to. Right.
Right.
So it's not just a, hey, we're losing students, but it has a huge monetary impact on that. And I think, trying to maintain and retain qualified teachers and enough teachers so class sizes don't get too big, that's an important win to keep students in Pittsfield. If we can get our class sizes down, things are more manageable, people can get the services they need, and they don't have to choice out to do so.
okay, well, I definitely appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know you're
Sure,
very
thanks for
busy,
having me.
and I'd love to have you come back, hopefully once you get the contract finalized, and
Yes,
hopefully
yes.
talk about a lot of positive stuff moving forward.
Yeah, we're hopeful, and we'll keep working on it, and I appreciate your support. The UEP definitely knows that you support us, and I'm hoping the community supports us. We really love the students of Pittsfield, and we feel like their education is the future of Pittsfield. The better educated they are, the more positive things can happen in Pittsfield.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things in closing, but I do want to throw that out there that we were talking about earlier, is I was studying some reports I have, learning about this, and I did notice that a lot of the communities with high crime levels are having problems in the schools, and it makes so much sense to me that by supporting our teachers and putting more of our resources and boosting up our teachers, just the impact overall on the community, how you see crime rates go down, all those
Right.
things. It has a
Right.
wide effect on everything. So
Right, right. Our position is that, the money that is out there should be put into positions that work directly with students, right? Paraprofessionals, classroom teachers, student adjustment counselors, guidance counselors, like everybody that's working, one-on-one with students, that's where your money should start. And then from there, once you get that strong, then you start building on top of that.
well, thank you so much again, Melissa.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. I love talking to you. I always learn a lot. And, I know how important our teachers are. So I support you more than you could imagine.
Thank
But,
you. I really appreciate that.
okay. And I will talk to you very, very soon.
Great. Thank you.